Hi everyone, my name is Kara Nunnally and I'm the Assistant Director of Annual Giving for Athletics here at Elon University.
And my name is Neil Port, and I'm currently a student athlete pursuing my MBA here at Elon University. So today we're going to talk about fundraising in higher education. And the way that starts off is always with senior administration. Senior administration, for example, is like the president and all of its staff to show how the school is going to get better, and obviously fundraising is a huge part of that. So senior administration set their goals for the whole school with regards to everything. They set it with their finances, they set it with housing, student life, admissions, athletics, and especially academics. So with that being said, senior administration comes up with a plan. And with that plan, they go to each department and they explain their plan. And from there on, each department is responsible for pursuing that plan and trying to get it better. So senior administration gives them their goals, then the goals from for athletics, for example, come to play, and athletics have to reach those goals. So I know, for example, here at Elon, I've been involved in athletics for 4 years, and obviously Kara has been too, so we both can relate to that. So I know that athletics sets a certain goal each year for raising money, and how they do that is they put on certain events. They have Night of the Phoenix, where they have a dinner and they do all these silent auctions where they try to promote the Phoenix Club and Elon's athletics and their scholarships, so that kids from all over the world can come here to be a student, get a great education, and to enjoy being an athlete at the same time. And then we'll move on to the advanced department, for example. And that's what deals with annual funds, major gifts, donor relations, for example. So say now Elon just built their most recent building, which is the Shar Center, which is going to open up in August. And that's a huge new development for Elon, because that was a big project that definitely cost a lot of money to build. And it's something that Elon needs to pursue their goal of becoming a bigger athletic program, for example. Because Elon had a gym for their basketball teams that housed about 1,500 students. But now this new Shar Center is a state-of-the-art facility that will try to bring a lot of new recruits, and that shows how the school is growing. So just how for athletics, senior administration put a plan together, brought it to athletics found the money with regards to fundraising, and that's how they build this beautiful new facility. Same thing goes with our business school, for example. It didn't get to being a top 40 in the country business radio program just overnight. People had to do lots of years and years of putting that money together to build this beautiful new facility they're building right next to the current business center. So with that being said, every year for athletics, I think it's in January, as Kara was telling me, but every year you do an appraisal. So Kara probably, since she works in athletics, has an appraisal in the January where she reflects on herself to see how she did, for example, in fundraising for the school, because that's what her job is here at Elon. And then her manager, for example, will make his own appraisal, how he thinks she did. And then they'll come together to kind of reflect on that, base some ideas off each other, and then really see how they can improve going forward. Because if they don't do that once a year, or even more than that, if they do that, then they're not really improving themselves, and they're not really improving their department, for example. So the last thing I want to talk about is how there's no monetary value with fundraising. So Kara, if she raises $1 million, which I hope she does one day, then she's not going to get any of that. That's her job. Her job, she gets a base salary for the year, so there's no real incentive. Her incentive is to try to help her department, try to help the students and the student athletes here at Elon to really get the best out of their opportunity. Because I'm sure if she was in our shoes, she would be very thankful for whoever's doing that fundraising. So that's what I really want to talk about when it comes to fundraising and how it does work. And now Kara's going to talk about how it doesn't work.
Thanks, Neil. So as Neil was mentioning, our senior administration here at Elon and at most institutions all set goals for each fiscal year, which is basically an academic year. So for example, we're in fiscal/academic year 17-18, and our senior administration created institutional priorities for every department here on campus, whether you're in advancement, you're in athletics, you're in academics, you're in residence life, whatever it may be, every department has an institutional priority and a goal to reach by May 31st, 2018. So no pressure. And that's traditional at most institutions as well. So again, we're talking about fundraising in higher education just in general, but a lot of our examples are coming from Elon because we have that experience. So when senior administration is creating these goals, it's hard for the boots on the ground to have that buy-in. So for example, there may be some extenuating circumstances that I know about as an annual fundraiser that is not being reported to senior administration. So when they're creating those goals, it may be more difficult for me to reach those by May 31st every year. So that buy-in piece is very difficult for a lot of boots on the ground fundraisers such as myself. Fundraising in general is an art and a science, and it's very much more relationship driven rather than results. So it's very hard to measure. So for example, when you're looking at data, you want to see stats, you want to see percentages and numbers and bar graphs, and it's hard to put relationships in that. So it's very hard for a fundraising department to translate that to human resources as well as to other departments because it's not as easily measured. So that is always a challenge. Also, doing a performance appraisal once a year, like Neil was talking about, is difficult because, for example, for us here at Elon, HR sends out a very generic performance appraisal that goes to every staff member, and then we have to fill it out from our perspective. Our manager fills it out from their perspective on the individual, and then we meet to talk about it. But it's all about the circumstance, right? So, for example, ours is in January or February. That's prime basketball season. We're all burnt out. We just did our calendar year-end solicitations for December 31st. We're exhausted, we're tired, and to be honest, we're a little cranky. So for example, my performance appraisal was maybe not the best snapshot of what I've done over the year, but rather circumstantial to what was just happening. So that is always a little bit of a negative, especially in a fundraising atmosphere. So what this all leads to is a lot of burnout and a lot of professional transition. You see a lot of fundraising professionals leave their positions within 18 months to 2 years just because of this type of fundraising atmosphere, especially in higher education. So some ways we can combat that, we've come up with 4. Of course, as Neil mentioned, we don't get commission when we do fundraising. So fun fact, everyone. But this is not the environment for monetary rewards. We're not in sales. It's all about the students. So we're fine with that. But instead, let's look at 4 different areas we can provide that managers can provide for fundraisers here on campus. So one of those is the professional and personal development opportunities that we have. So for example, the lunch and learns that are provided by the Office of Leadership and Professional Development. Managers encouraging their fundraisers to go to those is awesome. That's important. We want that as a fundraiser. We want to see how we can develop professionally and personally and make sure that we're managing our time. Of course, we're on an academic campus. Providing that access to educational resources, encouraging your fundraisers to go to a speaker on campus, to take classes, to take an MBA program. That's awesome. Again, another example of not a monetary reward, but something that really develops an individual. Vacation time. Guys, we work a lot. Fundraisers, no matter what subgroup you're in within advancement and athletics, we're always at an event. We're always at an athletics event. We're always doing something. We're on the road. We're communicating with donors. It's exhausting. Vacation time is great. So definitely providing that as a manager for your fundraisers would be a wonderful addition to that reward system. And then also small yet frequent recognitions in front of the whole department. So if, for example, if an institution's fundraising department has monthly meetings with everyone together, encourage shout outs. Say, hey, I want to give a kudo to someone, or kudos, depending on which verbal way you want or grammatical way you want to do it. I want to give a kudos to someone who did a wonderful job at an alumni engagement event. Go you. Or this team put on a wonderful event and we got X number of dollars. So for example, Elon Day, we had a huge celebration all together. Those small yet frequent recognitions mean the world to fundraisers. So as a manager, you can definitely encourage that. Another suggestion we have is collaborating with human resources to develop a new strategy for performance appraisals. So as Neil and I both talked about, the yearly performance appraisal doesn't work in fundraising. How about a quarterly snapshot? So managers encouraging working with their fundraisers every quarter and saying, hey, this is how I've done the last couple of months. This is what I achieved. This is what we did. How can we improve moving forward? those incremental check-ins will be way more beneficial for the individual and for the program itself, rather than the yearly check-in. Again, it just doesn't work for fundraising, and it's really hard to measure in statistics. So being able to better articulate the relationships being created every quarter will definitely be more beneficial.
And another two that I wanted to discuss are how you can bring your senior administration to work with mid-level managers, just not even to establish a new culture, but to really show that you care and really show that there's a purpose for what you're doing. Because if you don't really have a purpose and don't have an objective, there's really no point of fundraising. So say, for example, athletics wants to improve something, or admissions wants to build a new building, for example, just like they did. They go to senior administration and need to figure out a way that they can work together in order to really show that they really do care. So building this new admissions building here at Elon, they really showed they're willing to take the next step in really raising the school to another level. That's what every small mid-level manager in their department is trying to do. But they really need senior administration's help in order to get that going, because the fundraising is not a one-man show. It's a team collaborative effort. And everything here at Elon seems to be a team collaborative effort in order to improve the school as much as they can. And with that being said, I talked about purpose. And everything in life, there's always a purpose to something. And that's the same thing goes with fundraising. You have to encourage your students and faculty to get involved in that fundraising. So, for example, Elon does Elon Day, for example. And myself, being a student athlete, I was involved in some of the fundraising, even though very minimal. I still feel that it's important to have me participate because this is where I've spent a huge portion of my life, 4 or 5 years, and I want to give back to it. So having your students and faculty involved really makes a big difference going forward for your fundraising. So if you can continue to do that, you're definitely going to see success with your fundraising going forward. And without further ado, that concludes our presentation. Thank you very much.